Barbie is a brand, a toy, a product, something marketed to us. And we can't separate that from this movie. That's something that we can't forget, but it's really easy to forget. A lot of us know Barbie's backstory. She kind of started out as like a little feminist push to little girls everywhere to kind of, be who you wanna be, Barbie. Like, you don't have to be a mother. You don't have to take care of little baby dolls. Look at this adult woman with adult woman careers. And that was probably super inspiring to little girls in the 60s. Fast forward, she's out there in our toy boxes and on our TV screens. And like with most ideas in society, people are gonna shit on them. And after a while, people started noticing other things about Barbie that they were like, you know what? There's some things that like aren't perfect about this doll. Which is beautiful. As a society, we evolve, we adapt. We see what's going on and we go, I don't like that. It's doing something negative to the children, Barbara. Her perfect appearance, the mental and physical toll the doll takes on the children, Barbara. Is Barbie all of the things that Sasha in the Barbie movie said she was? Probably. Is she also a huge part of my childhood and nostalgia and a piece of me that raised me and that will always be a part of me and I'll never forget? Yes. Do I have Barbie and the Magic of Pegasus memorized? Yes, I do. Did I write about that in my book? Yes, I did. I have fully bought into the brand. I don't know if you can see this. I'm currently wearing a Barbie shirt that I acquired from the Barbie Museum in Toronto in 2022, I believe. This is a child's extra large because the adults were like $50 more. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm 5'4". I'm gonna squeeze into that little boy. We don't talk about the arm sleeves when I raise my hand, but that's fine. I have fully bought into the Barbie brand. Mind you, being a white gal with blonde hair and blue eyes and skinny, I've had the privilege of being blind to Barbie's harms. I've always kind of looked at Barbie as like a future me. I was raised off of Barbie movies. Swan Lake, Rapunzel, Barbie and the 12 Dancing Princesses. I was a big fan of Barbie my whole life. You betcha I was let down by the Barbie movie. Hello friends, it is your gal Paige Layle here. Welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back. If you're new here, please have a seat. And by have a seat, I mean you can subscribe if you want to join us. I'm autistic and I talk about autism and stuff. And today I'm ranting about a special interest of mine and also just like being autistic and nitpicking because you know what? We need more autistic people out there in storytelling to be like, we need to steamroll this straight, okay? If you are not doing so already, you can check me out on TikTok at Paige Layle. And while you're at it, you can follow my Instagram with the same name. Also, while you're at it, my book, it's right up there. It's called But Everyone Feels This Way. It just came out. I'm now a published author. And it keeps being like in weird best-selling lists in Amazon. It was #1 on suicide prevention or something. It changes like #3, #7, #4 on memoirs of disabled people. It gets in like LGBTQ plus stories, parenting, an ebook, psychology and counseling. Thank you guys. If you want to check it out, you can check it out down below. Available wherever books are sold. We've had so many Barbie movies. Like there's over 40 Barbie movies. I'm pretty sure this is the first live action Barbie movie. There haven't been a lot of Barbie movies where Mattel was like, we're gonna create a new movie, a whole new story. Like Rapunzel, Swan Lake, those are just like adaptations of already told stories. Then they started trying to get a little creative. Now Barbie's doing a bunch of stuff. Barbie's vlogging. Barbie, she's evolved a lot. I don't even know because I haven't caught up with her socials, So that's my vibe going into this movie. Then all the ads and shit come out. Oh my god, Margot Robbie makes a perfect Barbie. This is beautiful. Oh my god, Ryan Gosling makes a wonderful Ken. This is wonderful. Oh my god, who are all these people? What are they doing? I was looking at, all the famous people in it, and I'm like, oh. When it's a movie with a bunch of famous people, I'm like, I get a little, because I'm like, is it gonna be that good? Or is it just gonna have a bunch of famous people in it so that people will come and watch it? Because look at all the famous people in it. And like famous people that I didn't see in a Barbie movie. And am I judging a book by its cover? Yes, but I'm autistic and my pattern recognition is off the charts, off the wall. It is Vans off the wall and I'm just like, Will Ferrell? ? Why are you in a Barbie movie? Why are there so many men? Like, I don't know. Call me a misandrist, I guess, but my Barbie movies have never contained this many men before. And this is just the ads. I'm like, these are at least 4 men. And how many Ken dolls did I own? Not one. Because Ken dolls were boring. Dressing up the boys in boys' clothes was way less cool. It was dressing up the gals in gal clothes. Dressing up the blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl that looked like me and putting her in a little house taking care of her little dog like I wanted to one day. Ken comes along, like, fuck off, Ken. I'm not dreaming of a relationship as a child. And if you were, there was only one thing that Ken dolls were used for. But a lot of people, you know, we didn't need Ken dolls for it. We were bisexual or lesbian and we just used the other Barbie. But like, no one had a Ken doll. Maybe one friend had a Ken doll. And if you had a Ken doll, you had one. You did not have more than one Ken doll. Maybe like some of my gay friends had a few Ken dolls. That's fine. It represented them and also was someone that they were like attracted to. Like, that makes sense. So I'm already like, what is this movie going to be about? What is the plot of this movie? Why are there so many men? And they have all these different kinds of Barbies. And I'm like, okay, swagged out. Because we know that like there's only like 2 different kinds of Barbies, right? And I'm like, okay, movie is trying to say something here, which is okay to try to say things in movies. It's okay. So I'm accepting it for the time, you know, this is just the advertising. And then I hear Billie Eilish's song. And guys, I gotta like, Billie Eilish is a weak spot of mine. I started listening to Billie Eilish in like 2015. My first Billie Eilish concert I went to, she was 16. I think, and I was 17. So like, as Billie Eilish helped me not end my life multiple times. You know, I had like quotes. Anyway, so Billie Eilish on the Barbie movie, and I don't know if you guys think this, but like Billie Eilish kind of looks like Barbie. You can obviously say no way, but like she's blonde-haired, blue-eyed, pretty, or she was at least when I found her. Like, she's always pretty, but she had blonde hair, and she naturally has blonde hair, and so this was like before the, you know, the green, and I think actually, yeah, sort of. Oh my god, I have ADHD too. Billie Eilish releases her song. I hadn't listened to it for a bit because I knew that song's gonna make me cry, and I need to listen to it in a certain moment, and so I was driving to dance one day. I put it on, and I hadn't watched the Barbie movie yet, and I just cried a lot because I don't even know. But the lyrics, I'm like, this makes sense. I don't know if it's just like a woman thing, you know, feeling this from like growing up as a gal, as a girl, and that's what you feel like. I don't know if I really felt bad and sad for Billie Eilish because I knew that she had said she felt every word to her core and her bones. This was really representation of her life, and I felt really sad. But then I'm like, this Barbie movie, man, is gonna have a serious impact on me. But because I PDA, I'm never gonna watch a movie right when it comes out. So, of course, it took me a bit, but I went out and watched the Barbie movie. I was freaking disappointed, but not surprised, because I knew that people couldn't do this. I knew they couldn't do it yet. I knew we couldn't do a live action Barbie movie yet. I knew we didn't have the right autistic people in there making sure that it was good. That's what makes anything good, really, is like autism and ADHD. Like, there needs to be enough of both and not too much of one. This one had too much ADHD and not enough autism. Is that bad to say? I have both, and that's so I can say that. Movie starts. Whoa, why the fuck are there so many Kens? What? There's more Kens than there are Barbies. There's so many fucking Kens. We got Alan in here too. Like, okay. I understand we got like all types of Barbies, but there's literally only one Ken and then Alan, and they got all types of them. But we only had like one pregnant Barbie, one maid Barbie, you know, like one, like why not multiple? Why wasn't there a whole gang of mermaid Barbies? Where were the fairy Barbies? Fairytopia, excuse me. I saw no like little sister Barbies. What was her name? Not Lucy. What was her name? The little sister. Not like Charlotte. It wasn't Lucy or Charlotte, was it? But you know, like Karen, Catherine, Kathleen. Oh, frick, what was her? So I'm just like, okay, whatever's going on, like, it's not balanced. It's not right. In Barbie Land. Okay, cool. Made up space, new setting that we have not explored. We're gonna enter Barbie Land, I guess. Or is it a new land? Is it the same land that all the other Barbies exist on? Because Barbie doesn't exist on our land, right? And I mean, I guess so. That's kind of confirmed in the movie, right? So I'm like, okay, what are you going to do with this new setting that you've created? What are the rules and vibes of this setting? So women run everything. Okay, yeah, like that makes sense and that's fine. Because to me, Barbie's only been about women. Like, I've never been like, oh, and Kens are there just being little side characters. Like, Barbie's never been a feminist thing to me. Maybe she has to other people. Maybe that's something that, honestly, Mattel wants her to represent in a larger state. Hence why this frickin' movie was made this way. Even though Mattel tries to say it's not a feminist project and it doesn't represent feminism, that's like entirely what it is. But like not correctly. And it's worse because the women own everything and do everything. And then there's so many Kens. So it's like purposely trying to like, oh, trying to mirror, real life but flipped. And I immediately was like, I fucking hate this. I hate this. Like, the story could have done anything, and this is what it chooses to do. We're gonna make it a gender thing, which I'm not mad at gender things. We can make anything a gender thing if we need to, but I was like, Barbie? Gender? Like, that was our problem? Like, we're not gonna talk about weight, body image. We're not gonna talk about, like, the social impact of Barbie. No, because that's critiquing the brand. And why would Mattel do that to itself? They're like, we're actually going to up the ante on Barbie and make her a feminist thing. So she's more in the now. And I was like pissed off about it. And I was also pissed off that Ryan Gosling was hilarious in the main character and way funnier. Like, he was the main character the whole time. And I'm like, this was fucking rude. Why did they do that? What the fuck? And then, hold up, you think, like, that's gonna be the plot, right? You're like, okay, grand story, gender something, because, like, Ken's not happy, and apparently this movie is gonna be about Ken finding happiness. Like, by the end of this, Ken is going to be happy. I know that from the beginning. So we're gonna see whatever happens that Ken's gonna be happy at the end. That's the plot! Like, and I don't know, like, I'm autistic, I could tell you that from the beginning, and I'm like, I'm already mad at this movie. But then, hold up, then there's 13 more plots. As the movie goes on, there's so much more that comes up. And I'm just like, this is fucking dumb. I'm pretty sure you just added these actors and just add them in. You're spending so much money, dude, because you don't need these characters. So then, obviously, Ken isn't Barbie's problem, because we're not going to have a feminist movie about Barbie solving Ken's problem, right? Barbie's going to have another problem, and Ken is just going to be like kind of like the side villain for some reason, which he's not a villain. He just doesn't know, how to regulate his emotions and go away. But of course not. They're children. They're children toys. That's how it is. They're just going to be children. And so I expect that. But anyway, what's the problem going to be? Let's see. Okay, the problem is Barbie is becoming human. She's like, I used to float and now I just fall down. Like a human. Humans just float. Or humans fall down. Barbies float because the little girl, you're just gonna onto the ground. That's why Barbies float. Your feet are flat like a person's. You're getting cellulite and wrinkles like a person, not like a plastic doll. So Barbie's like turning human. And that's also shown by Barbie thinking human thoughts. Like, I'm thinking about death, and I'm thinking about depression, and I'm thinking like a human, things that dolls and children don't deal with. I relate Barbie to children, but I also know that this movie isn't for children. This movie is for me and adults like me who played with Barbie as a kid. But we played with Barbie as children primarily, and the dolls talk like children, when Barbie and Ken are like talking about like, I don't know, what boyfriends and girlfriends do, because like kids don't know. So my mind starts going, okay, like we're obviously developing, plot A, Barbie is becoming human. That's not ever, I think, what it is. Like, that's not ever said. I don't think that's ever the problem. That's just what I gain from it, because that's what makes sense. And no one else is like that. And Barbie's like, well, this is weird that I'm feeling these things and like things aren't perfect. And then this is what they do with it. They're like, oh, well, you gotta go talk to weird Barbie. Okay, what the fuck? So now there's like a Wizard of Oz. You gotta go talk to the wizard. And the wizard is just a Barbie that got played with a little too rough? Why is there only one of them? Does each Barbie just represent the entire population of Barbies that look like that? I think so, because they even casted Margot Robbie's freaking lookalike and then dyed her hair brown. Like, you could have done something there. You know how many actresses look like those actresses? There's like at least like 5 of them that kind of look like stereotypical Barbie. But no, you only got one of each. You got one weird Barbie. And she's Kate McKinnon. It's a piggy role. Like, it's a role that you know is good because it's written to be good. It's written to be funny. It's written to be small and funny, and it's going to be good. And it's Kate McKinnon, so it's going to be good. And then Barbie's like, I've got all these problems all of a sudden. And then weird Barbie's like, I know what this is. Your human is sad, and you need to go and fix it and figure it out. You need to wear these Birkenstocks and walk into the human life and be human for a bit. Because when she goes into the human world, she's no longer a doll. She's a human in the human world. She does human things. She walks like a person. Anyway, I'm like, I fucking hate this. Okay, this movie's just funny now. This movie's just for laughs now. It is a funny movie, and so I could enjoy it that way. It was freaking hilarious. Ryan Gosling, hilarious. My fellow Canadian, love him. But I'm like, that's a stupid plot. That's stupid. And want to know why it's stupid? Because I think that the movie was set in like the today. And we find out that the owner of Barbie is America Ferrera's character, like the mom. No, you're telling me, okay. Because I'm pretty sure like Margot Robbie represents the first Barbie with like her black and white bathing suit. They show that at the beginning with like the whole Planet of the Apes scene. Margot Robbie's like, whatever, winking. And so I'm thinking the owner of the first ever original Barbie is going to be Ruth Handler. It's going to be the person who created Barbie. She probably, made it as her own like prototype and has the first ever Barbie, or gave it to her daughter, Barbara. She named Barbie after, pretty sure. And I'm like, whoever it is that has Barbie, they're gonna be old because Barbie came out in the 60s. So that's who Barbie's gonna find, that's her owner, is gonna be someone old. And then that'll connect all the old people stuff and like, or I don't know. Anyway, we don't even know about the old people stuff. But anyway, that's my thinking then. And I'm like, why is Kate McKinnon all of a sudden, why is weird Barbie all of a sudden like the teller of how to do things? Like, was she anointed that? Is she neurodivergent? Is that the thing? Is she like autistic? Is she the symbolism of an autistic person? They're like, we gotta ask the autistic person what to do. Like we do all the time, Which you should do. Because if anyone asked me, an autistic person, what to do with this movie, I would have said, well, you gotta get rid of half of the plots, at least, please. So Barbie goes into the real world. Not only does she go, Ken is there too. So now I guess we have Barbie and Ken. And now it's a Ken movie because Ken's fucking hilarious. I'm upset that this is the plot, that she has to like go make her real owner happy in order for her to be like normal again. I'm upset that we didn't just like go with like, oh, Barbie, you're like becoming human, and being human is a normal, I don't know, like go walk amongst the humans and you can go see what it's like to be human, and like you can be okay with that. Or I don't know. But like, why is Barbie turning into a human? And if Barbie's turning into a human, is she the first Barbie whose owner had depression? Is this the first time this has happened? Obviously not, because weird Barbie also says like she knows what to do. What the fuck? Is this a Barbie thing? Is this a toy thing? Is this a toy concept? Like, we gotta make our owners happy or else we turn into people. Is that what Barbie is? Does Barbie actually hate people? Is this only happened to our Barbie here? Like, is this the first time in this universe? I don't know. There's just too many things that don't make sense. Anyway, Barbie like does all of her shit, becomes a human. I don't know. So does Ken. I don't know. Okay, now they're in the real world. Alrighty. Great, we're here. Now we've got Ken and Barbie and they're vibing. And Barbie knows way too much about the real world that she just got into, and like words that she doesn't know, but it's just the writing. It's just like they're trying to be funny. I feel conscious, but it's of myself that I'm conscious of. Like, shut up. I feel conscious. No one has ever said I feel conscious. Yeah, like no shit, Barbara. It's funny because I always say Barbara or Brenda as like my name to throw out there, and it's funny because Barbie's name is Barbara. No fucking shit, Barbara. So they're in the real world, and what happens in the real world? Well, Barbie's not accepted for who she is. She is harassed. She is sexually harassed. She does not feel comfortable. She doesn't know how it works. No one tells her the rules, so she steals stuff, and it's scary. It's a very not good place for her at all. Ken is like, this place is kind of cool because I'm pretty sure that they respect me a hell of a lot more than Barbie does, or at least like than the Barbie universe does. And not just how it respects me, but how it respects Ken's in general. So like this moment and like what's going on here, I'm thinking, okay, Ken is realizing what the patriarchy is, and also like how easy it was to notice these things, how quickly it was. And I thought then Ken would symbolize or be able to symbolize a young boy who learned these things about patriarchy and then felt more comfortable and was like, okay, good, I can be like mediocre, and girls should be able to just like be okay with that. I wanted to see then if that would have like impacts on Barbie, if Ken was going to try to convince Barbie any of the ways of patriarchy to try to, get her down a little bit of notches so then she'll be nicer to him, like use any like mental manipulation, any kind of, I don't know, like use the patriarchy against her. Especially now that she's becoming more human. Like, Ken could have used, like, human stuff against her. Like, oh yeah, you look human and that's ugly. Because you're not perfect. You have to be perfect. But, you know? Because them going there, like, all Barbie learned was that, like, that world sucked, and also the way that the Barbie land ran was probably the better way of life than the other way of life. Ken just kind of gets like an ego boost and then is like, I want this all of the time. What can I do here? So there's another plot. Or just like a part of the plot. I'm like, okay, this is gonna go somewhere. Barbie meets Sasha. Sasha says a bunch of shit. Sasha's saying all this shit. I was like, oh, look at you. Look at you, Mattel. Look at you. You checked a check off of your checklist of things to do. And this was make fun of us. Make fun of our own company and brand for what it is, you know? Or people were going to critique the hell out of the brand for not doing so. So they just gave it to like, you know, a liberal teenager who's like edgy and saying all this shit to Barbie, who's just a person and is sad because she's a person. Which I was like, ew, no. Because now as an adult, I can separate myself from Barbie. We're personifying a toy, I get it. And now we're talking shit to the toy about the company. And like making the toy feel bad. And the toy has these bad emotions because the toy is becoming human. And the human, like the Barbie, the thing, the toy, didn't do anything wrong by existing. Like the real problem is capitalism, like it always is, but no one cares to hear that. Like, annoying, whatever. That character was annoying. I didn't like her at the start, didn't like her anymore at the end. When I found out that it was, you know, Sasha's mom, America Ferrera's character, that was the owner of Barbie, I was like, that's fucking bullshit, because like I said, the owner of Barbie should be like the one who made Barbie. Like, if Margot Robbie's the original Barbie, it should be that gal, and I don't know, she should be dying or something. I don't know, like, that's if we're sticking with this plot, then make it good. She's the first person who's owned a Barbie that's gotten depressed. Like, come on, man. I was depressed when I was freaking 6 years old playing with my Barbies. Like, where do you, like, no. Not relatable. Not relatable content. I don't even want to talk about the Mattel Corporation and just like the whole thing of that. Like, that was fucking dumb. That was stupid. That was stupid and pointless and dumb. It was dumb the whole time. Its inclusion was like, like so like shoved in there just because like they had to shove it in there. Gotta make fun of ourselves more. And like, it's all board men full of men. Oh. And also that just like don't vibe with the plot. Because Barbie comes in. And Barbie's whole problem is like, okay, I am turning human. And they don't even say that. She's like, I'm like getting defected and I just want to be perfect again and be normal. And then the creator of Barbie, or not the creator, the owner, he's like, okay, yeah, I can definitely do that. All you gotta do is go back home. Okay, shut up. Thank you. Fuck. But he's like, I can literally do that. Yeah, just go. We'll just take you home. That's great. And I get like I get like the metaphor, like putting women into boxes or whatever the fuck. And then Barbie's like, nope, I'm not going in the box. Why? Is it because Barbie just doesn't like men or doesn't trust men? I think that might be it. Because the only men that she's seen are the Kens, who she doesn't care for, or like they're not really competent. And then the men in the real world have just like harassed her. So I could see how if she didn't trust these guys, that they were going to do something else with her. But also, like, why would they do that? That's not in their best interest either, isn't it? It's in their best interest to get Barbie back. It's in her best interest to get back. Was it just because they didn't have Ken yet? Like, but the whole inclusion of that was just stupid. Like, Will Ferrell didn't need to be in there. None of those, like, what the heck? So now I'm like, I don't fucking know what's going on. Because we already know that Barbie's owner is America Ferrera, I guess, kind of. But, you know, you really find that out at the end. Because then Barbie meets, like, the maker of Barbie, just as, like, you know, a little inspirational moment. Just a little cute. I'm like, okay, well, that was stupid. That was just, like, to make us, you know, the bus stop scene. Barbie is, you know, having a little sad tear. I think that's her first tear. I don't know, human. Like, she's a human now. Did she ever not have to go to the bathroom? And that whole time, like, no pee, no poop, no puking. Did they puke? Did she see, like, her nipples? Did Ken have a penis? Because Ken just has, like, a mound, right? Like, was that nothing that they figured out? Like, was Ken not running and was like, whoa, something is jiggling? Or was she not, like, something, you know, she's like, I need a bra. All that. Like, I don't know. So many logistical things about becoming human. Like, turning a toy to a human and making it go into the real world and just seem like a person instead of a toy, especially Barbie, especially like Margot Robbie. Like, I don't know, so many other things you could have done. But anyway, she's sitting at a bus stop. She turns. There's an old gal just smiling at her. Okay. And Barbie, and we don't see this. We don't know why or how or where, but Barbie is just like, you're beautiful. And she's like, don't I know it? And I don't know what happens there, but apparently that's significant. And I'm like, why? Just because you're telling me it is? Why is that significant? What growth has Barbie gone through? Like, what? You're beautiful. Are we supposed to be like, oh my God, that's great. She now sees being old and like having wrinkles and no longer looking 24 as like fine, like aging is fine. Why does she think that? Why didn't she before? Like, what was the growth of her like getting to that conclusion? Was it just like, oh, the first time she saw an old person and she was like, that's not that bad? What happened there? I don't know. People were crying. I'm like, but what happened? Why was that important? I know it's gonna be important now. Like, but I don't fucking know why. Her society has told her that she needs to be perfect and she needs to be blah, blah, blah. I'm like, maybe she's gonna go back to her society and just accept who she is and that she is wrinkly and aging and saggy and stuff. I don't know. But it's actually kind of the opposite because then later on she has a meltdown about how she's not perfect anymore. Why the fuck did you think that? Where the fuck did that come from? I'm getting ahead of myself. We need to talk about the kingdom, patriarchy, whatever goes on back in Barbie Land, because they get back in Barbie Land and the place is just upside down, meaning it's now behaving more similar to our human typical society where the men are more so in charge and women are given more of a submissive role or just take it on because they come in and the gals are all kind of like vibing and enjoying their lives and they're like, this is fun. I'm having a good time being like a little cheerleader, a little girlfriend. Like, I like this. And I was like, okay, what's the point here? And I'm also like, how did this happen? How did this happen? Did Ken came down and he's like, I gotta tell everyone about patriarchy. He told the Kens were like, well, that's obviously better than what we have now. And so I would like to implement it. How do we implement it? Well, we gotta tell the girls. Sounds like they kind of just told the girls. And sounds like the girls were like, this is kind of okay. Sounds like too, they were only kind of doing it for like 1 or 2 days, you know, and they were like, this is fun for 1 or 2 days. I'm sure it would be fun for the girls to have a break from doing all of the jobs and have the guys do some jobs and have the girls just, you know, do anything else. Like, I'm guessing it wasn't that hard to convince the women Barbies, because it wasn't, because they were all like having a good time. It's not like they were imprisoned, it's not like they were, you know, like they were vibes. Barbie comes back and Barbie's like, no, I didn't like patriarchy, no, everything's bad. Why does Barbie not like patriarchy but all the other Barbies do? Is it because she's the only one that's experienced it in real life and Ken is just like making shit up? Like, I don't understand where, like, if everyone's having a good time, like, I'm like, why did they make all the women Barbies have a good time in this like weird patriarchy? It was like Barbie against everybody. And then Barbie, you know, has a breakdown. I'm pretty sure this is okay. I'm pretty sure now we're back to Barbie breaking down. She's with weird Barbie and she's like, I'm not pretty anymore. What the fuck are we doing? Like, where'd that come from? I'm like, that literally came out of left field. I'm not pretty anymore. Why? You literally went to the real world. Why did you not think that you were not pretty enough there? You saw an old person. You thought they were pretty. Like, what did Barbie change her view of beauty standards going into the human world? Did Barbie have former views of beauty standards? And was it her? But that couldn't be true because everyone in Barbie Land looks not like her. So what insecurities did she get in the human world? Or is it because of patriarchy? But why does she care or believe them? Like, I just don't fucking know, man. And then the camera comes in and it's like, please note that Margot Robbie is the wrong person to cast to say ugly, but it gave everyone a cute little laugh or whatever in the theater. I'm like, that was cheap. Why are we doing this? The script itself literally just said that what it's saying is kind of not making sense and just said it out loud for us because otherwise we would have said it out loud. And then we get the monologue. Just like everything else, I have a problem with the monologue. America Ferrera delivers this, like, you know, women, like, it's so hard being a woman monologue. Now, let me know what you guys think before I say my thoughts. There are a lot of thoughts on this. I heard the speech. I heard America Ferrera say, like, you gotta be thin, but not too thin, just to ride a curvy and work and not work and be a mother and and be whatever, all the stuff, you know? And after she said it, you know, there were women in the theater, they're like, whoa, yeah, that is important shit. And in a crowd full of people, I'm like, okay, speak it. Because I don't know if that's ever like really I don't know, been on a big movie like this, like having a character just like break that down like that, I'm like, okay, good, like to hear that shit, because I think that there's a lot of society that doesn't really know that or feel that and is like seriously just discovering that for the first time, really coming to that conclusion watching this movie. There's a lot of people that are like, oh my god, you're so right, like yeah, it is hard being a woman. It's only like us that are younger, I feel like, that are really digging into generational trauma and understanding all of these things about our lives and our pasts and our parents' lives. So when I heard the speech, I was like, yes, and okay, good to say out loud for the other people. Me, myself, like I probably wrote the same post on Ask FM when I was 13, and it probably got a lot of likes too. And I've heard a lot of things about it. I've heard people say, well, but it's Barbie's first time realizing that. Like, remember your first time understanding that? If it's Barbie saying that, like, why doesn't Barbie say that? And even if it was Barbie saying that, why does Barbie think that? It makes sense that it's America Ferrera because she's lived in the real life and like has experienced all these things since childhood. Like she's been noticing and been realizing and sounds like the real world was really not a vibe for Barbie at all. I would agree with you. And it sounds like we're talking about the problems of the real world and we're not even in the real world. We don't even care about the real world. Like Barbie's gonna ship these humans back there and she's gonna vibe in the Barbie land. Well, haha, plot twist. Like we're in Barbie land. Barbie land is currently in, there's horses everywhere. There's something we got to do. Why are we worrying about this? But then anyway, this goes to the idea that, the women Barbies that are just like being, little submissive gals for the Kens, they're just, a little brainwashed and they just need to hear, we just need to like explain to them why they shouldn't be like this and like the things that they love and what's going on. They just like got a little brainwashed. We got to give them, a little speech and tell them who they really are and remind them who they are and what's up. And then they do that. They like one by one get the Barbies alone, and then America Ferrera gives them like a little speech, and the Barbies like realize, oh my god, you're so right, like I do feel like that, it's like a fast forward patriarchy or something. It's like we're just gonna get these little kids, the Barbies, through the realization stage of what patriarchy is, because right now they're having a fun time, but in order for this to continue prolonging forever, we need to get them out of it right now, because Barbie does not like how Ken took her house. Does Ken not have a house? Why do you have to take Barbie's? Barbie and Ken's relationship, not okay. Ken is just being a dick and I'm taking your house. Like, that's not healthy. Nay. I'm not on your side. Now Ken's like the villain. But he's being fucking hilarious. Was anyone else like, this is a lot of makeup? There's noticeably a lot of makeup on these men in particular. And I just couldn't stop looking at their makeup. I'm like, you guys are wearing a lot of makeup. More makeup than you need to be wearing. Especially Ryan Gosling. Like, you are getting older, man. Why are they caking your face like that? It makes you look older, my dude. Not only is this about the patriarchy and about being a human and, aging, it's also about unhealthy relationships. And so then the women, like, I don't know, snap out of it. And they are all like, wait, we hate this. Let's like vote to not do it. And then the way that they like get Barbie Land back is the Kens get distracted doing a song and dance number that they don't come to the vote. That was so lazy, I thought. And I think that if you really want to have like strong winners, they need to have a strong antagonist. And just being like, oh, they just got it back because, boys are dumb. They're just forgetful. They just forgot. They're just being stupid, fighting each other. I didn't come to this Barbie movie to just watch Kens. Not to be rude, but I came to watch a Barbie movie. I was not expecting to see so much like dude stuff. It just wasn't as feel good as I wanted it to be. It was such a lazy way to resolve that conflict. And then for Ken to be like, I thought it was about horses. It wasn't, so I don't care. Like, that's so lazy. Now you just have like a lazy antagonist. Obviously, like the patriarchy is way deeper than that. I just like, this was just not a good metaphor. Now Barbie Land is just back to being like woman run. And the Kens are like, I actually don't need to emotionally depend on a girlfriend. I actually am enough on my own, and I need to focus on myself and my own interests and hanging out with my friends and my own like job and stuff. I don't need to be Barbie's boyfriend. I am enough. Okay, go off, I guess. Was this a movie for Kens? Was this a movie for the boys? I don't know, because it sounds like Ken went through a lot of growth. Ken went from having no identity and depending on Barbie, who has a very big identity, to then kind of being like toxic to try to like manipulate his way into an identity to then realize like, I don't want to do that actually. That was stupid. And actually I can have my own identity and develop it. And it is great. Barbie has learned, I don't know how the heck she's going to make the mom happy and like get, be normal. And I don't know why, like, that's the point of the movie, because, like, you can't do that to a person. Why are we saying that a toy has to do that to a person? Being like, just make them happy and you'll be okay. Oh, that's emotional abuse, like, for someone, to feel like that to someone, that you have to treat them nice in order for them to be good to you. Barbie doesn't solve that, I don't think. If anything, then Barbie just gets like more sad. And then for some fucking reason, the end of this movie, how it goes, Barbie talks to Ruth Handler and is like, am I a thing? And then What Was I Made For starts playing. Like, what am I doing? And Ruth is like, you are evolving and you're whatever and speech. The song's playing. I'm like, this has ruined the song. I know people are gonna hate me and tear me apart about this. I know, like, you can love the Barbie movie. It's more than okay. I still love Barbie. It was still a funny movie, even though I was like, this is not the best story for me. Then for some reason, Barbie's like, I want to be human. And then she has a vagina and goes to the gynecologist. I was like, why? Why did she do that? What reason at all did she have to want to do that? She didn't have a good time in the real world. Was it because she saw an old person and was like, wow? Because it was after all that she was like, I'm not pretty anymore. Like, what if she thinks she's not pretty? Like, does she think she's not pretty because she's not old and now she thinks that like old people are pretty and so now she wants to get old to be pretty? Like, is this still about being pretty? What is this about? Is she giving up being pretty to like be human? What? And she wants to be human. Like, honestly, like, does she want to be a mother? Was that the end of it when she's like, I'm here to see my gynecologist? Like, is that the thing? Like, she wants to create a kid, because she's like, I want to be like the creating and do the creating. And then she has a vagina, which then goes to show that they had their human parts when they were humans in the real human world. Were they urinating? Like, we have no idea. And the song did not move me. And the ending did not move me. And everyone clapped and cheered. And I turned over to my boyfriend and I'm like, I'm upset. I'm disappointed. That was not the best. That was not the best way that they could have done any of this. They spent so much money on not a good story at all. That had 17 plots. And how it ended, I don't even know. Why? I don't know. You created a Barbie land, a land that we've never seen and have never been introduced to before. I was really disappointed that wasn't dived into. Like, that could have been so cool. And you have all of these famous actors that you're clearly paying lots of money for. And I know that you pay them more, like, the more that they're on set, but like, why not use them? Why not use this Barbie land? Why not hang out there? Why are we going to the real world? Why are there so many Kens? Why is this about gender and about patriarchy? Why is the Barbie land like a matriarchy? Like, I get that. But like, why are there so many Kens? Who was this movie for? Because I thought it was for me, but I'm kind of thinking that it was for like everyone else. I kind of think that cast Will Ferrell and Ryan Gosling so the guys come. And Ken's so funny, but the guys don't hate the Barbie movie. Will Ferrell's in it. It's funny. You can't hate Will Ferrell. And then by the end of it, Ken gets like empowered. And then Barbie, like, I don't know, is okay with not being perfect. I just think there was a lot of like missed opportunities. I don't like that this is the plot of the movie and this is where the movie went. I don't think it made a lot of sense. I don't think a lot of things needed to happen. I'd watch it again when it's free. I really don't want to pay for it. Just to kind of like write more things about it and be like, what happened here? I'd like to see another one at another time by, a different writer and director. I mean, like, I don't know. I'm not trying to obviously offend anybody, but it's probably going to be offensive to Greta Gerwig if that's you. Yeah, I just thought it was just really, messy and really needed to be simplified and then enhanced that way. That just feels like there's like a first draft. There's so much going on. Just throw in all the famous people you can, all the childhood nostalgia that you can, market the hell out of it, and spend a lot of money on costuming, make it iconic. We'll be fine. Well, I just hope that there's another one at some point. There will be. Barbie's gonna keep doing stuff. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the Barbie movie. What did you guys think? I know a lot of people love it. A lot of people are like, I don't know. But I'd really like to hear. I really hope that I said everything I wanted to say. I had so many thoughts that I couldn't even stop writing them down. I'm like, I'm just gonna try to talk and try to say them all. Like, just justifications and reasons why I didn't like the Barbie movie, or just things that I thought they could have done differently. But anyway, I'm autistic. I'm not going to say everything perfectly. And a lot of you are autistic. You're going to take me very literally. And so there will always be miscommunication. I'm sorry. I mean no harm. I'm not a film critic. I'm just, a Barbie fan talking about movies. That's my rant for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for being here. Let me know what kind of topics you guys would like me to talk about. If there's anything you want to say in the comments, or you can also fill out a form that's in the description. And if you like this video and stuff like this, you can like and subscribe. Send a little comment if you want. Thank you guys so much, and I'll talk to you later. Also, my book is released now. Yay! But Everyone Feels This Way is available anywhere books are sold, and also link down below. Thank you. Bye. This is the end of the video song. This video's to tell you the video's done. If you're hearing this, it's because the video's done. Go watch another one. Boop boop. Have a good day. Love you so much. Bye.